each of us actually, I would say, represents the sort of breadth and depth of what's necessary to bring a product, whether it's an antibiotic, a vaccine, or a diagnostic. But again, it takes a little village, I guess, is what, that common phrase to get from...
raise a drug.
Yeah, to raise a drug, right? But to get from the academic lab, which is where these ideas usually happen, and then to bring it through and all of the, really important work that needs to translate that into ultimately something for patients. And I think bringing us together and building this, this work plan, this venue, but then having our researchers come together, I think understanding those interconnections and how to utilize each other, how to learn from each other, as John said. I think hopefully the whole ends up being, greater than the sum of its parts. This is an area that we need drugs, we need to work together. And I think this is another step in doing that.
Yep. So raising the global village.
Yes.
Or bringing the global village together to raise the drug to help tackle AMR.
Exactly.
And driving the communication also about the policy level stuff. That is what's going to enable drugs to continue to be developed and stay on the market. Antibiotics are like fire extinguishers. There's something that you want to have. You don't want to use them you don't want to get yourself wet very often. There shouldn't be very many fires to put out, but you really do want to have it handy. And that's actually a real paradigm shift in talking about how you develop drugs. And so that's another theme that we'll be sharing with developers, because that's actually been a challenge financially. How do you stay in business? And a lot of us are working hard on making it possible for drugs to get developed and for the innovators to have adequate funding to stay in business to keep the drug available. So it should be a really interesting program.